Welcome to part 2 of Let's Play the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. At the end of the last part, I was just about to begin the adventure, and I had skill 12, stamina 15, 8 luck, and 10 provisions. I found out, after looking back, after ending the part, and reading this, that I actually I did have a shield, because it says a shield there, but it doesn't mention the armour. Whereas here, it mentions armour, but it doesn't mention the shield. So it doesn't mention that I don't have them. So I put shield in as well. It just mentions, at first it mentions the sword and shield, and then the second time it mentions your equipment, it just says sword and leather armour. So I'm assuming I have them all. So yeah. Right. Let's continue with the adventure, or start the adventure at least. Okay. Now turn over. Okay, here's paragraph 1. At last, your 2-day hike is over. You unsheath your sword, lay it on the ground, and sigh with relief as you lower yourself down onto the mossy rocks to sit for a moment's rest. You stretch, rub your eyes, and finally look up at Firetop Mountain. The very mountain itself looks menacing. The steep face in front of you looks to have been savaged by the claws of some gargantuan beast. Sharp rocky crags jut out at unnatural angles. At the top of the mountain you can see the eerie red colouring. Probably some strange vegetation, which has given the mountain its name. Perhaps no one will ever know exactly what grows up there, as climbing the peak must surely be impossible. Your quest lies ahead of you. Across the clearing is a dark cave entrance. You pick up your sword, get to your feet, and consider what dangers may lie ahead of you. But with determination you thrust the sword home into its scabbard and approach the cave. You peer into the gloom to see dark, slimy walls with pools of water on the stone floor in front of you. The air is cold and dank. You light your lantern and step warily into the blackness. Cobwebs brush your face and you hear the scurrying of tiny feet, rats most likely. You set off into the cave. After a few yards you arrive at a junction. Will you turn west or east? I think if you turn east you have to go west anyway because it's a dead end, so we're going to go west. So to 71. Okay, there's a right-hand turn to the north in the passage. Cautiously you approach a sentry post on the corner, and as you look in you can see a strange goblin-like creature in leather armour asleep at his post. You try to tiptoe past him. Okay, that's the picture that corresponds to that paragraph. There he is. Test your luck. If you are lucky, he does not wake up and remains snoring loudly. Turn to 301. If you are unlucky, you step with a crunch on some loose ground and his eyes flick open. Turn to 248. Okay, so we have to test our luck. Our luck is 8, so we have to roll 2 dice, and we have to hope that the result is equal to or less than 8. So there's a number of dice 2, so roll, and I get a 10. I was unlucky. And annoyingly, I also have to put the luck down to 7 as well. So, unfortunately, I have to go to 248, which probably means I have to fight him if I remember. Where is he? How irritating. Okay, here we go. The creature that has just awakened is an orc. He scrambles to his feet and turns to grasp at a rope, which is probably the alarm bell. You must attack him quickly. If you defeat him, you may continue up the passage. Okay, so he has skill 6 and stamina 5. So let's put this in. So orc, skill 6 and stamina 5. I'll put enemy attack for his attack strength, and then my attack for mine. There we go. So I have to roll both dice first and add it to his skill, and that's his attack, and then do the same for me. And whoever gets the highest wins the attack round. Okay, so he gets a 6. That's a 12 overall. So he gets a 12. Now what do I get? Remember, mine's added to 12, so I'm certain to beat him. I get an 18 overall, so I win. So his stamina goes down to 3 because he loses 2 stamina points. Okay, next he gets a 10. That's 16 overall. I need anything above a 4. Yep, I get an 18, so he gets 16 to 18, so let's write that in. 16 to another 18 for me, so that's I could use luck here to finish him off, but it's a waste, so I'll just do the other attack round. You should never, in my opinion, never use luck in battle. It's a waste. You don't get many luck points, and the more you use them, the further they go down, and when you do have to use luck, you won't be lucky. Okay, so one more attack round. Okay, he gets a 9, so it's pretty much guaranteed to be. I'm guaranteed to win this. So 9 versus 21, so I win that. So 9 to 21. There we go. So his stamina goes down to 0. There we go. So I've won that. So I didn't lose any health, thank God, because it would have annoyed me if I had, because I'm only fighting him because I was unlucky. So anyway, so I win, so I can go up the passage and go to 301. Here we go. Okie dokie. Okay, to your left, on the west face of the passage, there is a rough-cut wooden door. You listen at the door and can hear a rasping sound which may be some sort of creature snoring. Do you want to open the door? If so, turn to 82. If you wish to progress on northwards, turn to 208. We want to open the door. So we're going to go to 82. Okay, the door opens to reveal a small, smelly room. In the centre of the room is a rickety wooden table on which stands a lit candle. Underneath the table is a small wooden box. Asleep on a straw mattress in the far corner of the room is a short, stocky creature with an ugly, warty face, the same sort of creature that you found asleep at the sentry post. He must be the guard for the night watch. You may either return to the corridor and press on northwards, turn to 208, or creep into the room and try to take the box without waking the creature. If you want to try to steal the box, test your luck. If you are unlucky, he does not wake up. Turn to 147. If you are unlucky, turn to 33. I think I've taken a wrong turning here. I don't think I wanted to go in here. I think I'd better head north. So I'm going to return to the corridor and continue northwards, I think. So 208. Okay, further up the passage along the west wall, you see another door. You listen at it but hear nothing. If you want to try opening the door, turn to 397. Otherwise, turn to 363. Okay, 397. Yeah, I can't remember the way to go exactly. I've just sort of had a lot of practice and memorised this, so I'm pretty sure I didn't want to go in that room because I don't recognise it from the perfect route that I did or worked out. Okay, the door opens to reveal a small room with a stone floor and dirty walls. There is a stale smell in the air. In the centre of the room is a makeshift wooden table on which is standing a lit candle. Under the table is a small box. In the far corner of the room is a straw mattress. You may either open the box or leave the room. I'm going to open this box. Okay, the box is light, but something rattles within. You open the lid and a small snake darts out to bite at your wrist. You must fight the snake. Okay, is there a picture? Yeah, there's a picture there. So that's the snake we're fighting. Okay, the snake has skill 5 and stamina 2. Luckily, I've already written out one of these earlier. So there we go. So I just need the attack. I only have to win one attack round in order to kill it. So okay, so 5 plus whatever this is, that's 11. So I'm guaranteed to win. 11 versus 14. So write that in. So I win that. So it's stamina goes down to 0, and I kill it. So that's the end of that. So I haven't lost any health. So yeah, at least my skill is at maximum, so I'm at a real advantage of all these weak creatures. If I kill the snake, turn to 145. Let's go. The box has fallen to the ground during your fight with the snake, and out of it has fallen a bronze-coloured key with the number 99 carved into it. Let's write that in. I'm going to take the key and add a luck point. So, yep, add 1 luck point for finding the key. So take the key. So let's put bronze key 99, and then in here put my luck back to 8. There we go. And turn to 363. Here we go. Right, further up the passage, on the west wall, you see another similar door. You listen at the door and grimace to hear the worst singing you have ever heard in your life. Do you want to go into the room to investigate this hideous din? Turn to 370, or walk on up the passageway. Turn to 42. Okay, I remember this. We definitely need this door, so we have to go in. Luckily, it's just down here. The door opens to reveal a small room. The room is dirty and unkempt. A straw mattress lies in one corner. In the centre of the room is a wooden table upon which a candle burns, lighting the room with its flickering flame. A small box rests under the table. Seated around the table are 2 small creatures with warty skin, dressed in leather armour. They are drinking some sort of grog, and by the way they stagger to their feet on your arrival, you assume they are very drunk. You may either draw your sword and leap forward at them, or slam the door quickly and run on up the passage. We're going to draw our sword. 116. The 2 drunken orcs you now face are obviously startled at your entrance, and as quickly as they are able, they fumble around for their weapons. You must attack each one in turn. Their drunkenness allows you to add 1 point to your dice roll when rolling to work out your attack strength during each attack round. Okay, so we have to fight them one at a time, and if you win the battle, blah blah blah. If you wish to escape during the battle, you may do so. We won't need to do that. So we fight them one at a time, and you can add 1 to our attack strength as well. So let's orc number 1. What's he called? Okay, first orc. So first orc. And he had, what did he have? Skill 5, stamina 4. Okay. Enemy attack. My attack. Okay, let's roll the dice. Okay, so he gets a 12. What do I get? And remember, I add 1 to mine as well as my skill. So I get 10, 11 plus 12 is 23. So he got a 12 to 23. So 12 to 23. So I win that. So he goes down to 2. And then we roll again. He gets a 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. And I get a 4, which turns into a 5 because I add 1, and then add 12. So that's 5 plus 12 is 17. So he gets a 12. Did he get a 12? And I get 17. I think that was it. Whatever. I won. So 12 and 14. I think it was a 12 he got, and I got a 17. So that's him down to 0. Okay, so second orc. Let's write all this nonsense out again. Okay, his one is 5 and 5, so 5 and 5. So let's do this. He gets a 14. So I'll type this in this time because it's sort of difficult to remember. He gets a 14, and I get a 5 plus 1 plus 12 is 18. So I get 18. So that's knocked him down to 3. Whoops. And again, he gets a 9, that's a 14 again, and I get a 10, because it's add 1, plus 12 is 22, so I get 22 to 14, so 14 again, and I get 22, so that's knocked him, done that again, that's knocked him down to 1. Remember not to use luck, it's not worth it at this stage in the game. So one more, that should win it, so he gets a 5, so that's a 10 overall, and I get 8 plus 12, which is 20, so it's 10 to 20, so I win that as well. So that's the end of him. It's the end of both orcs, that's that done. And I still haven't lost any health. So I won, so I'm going to go to 378. You wipe your blooded sword on the mattress. The green blood leaves a slimy stain on the straw. Stepping over the bodies towards the table, you flinch at the foul stench of the creatures. You pick up the box from under the table and examine it. It is a small wooden box with crude hinges. The name Farigo di Maggio is inscribed on a brass nameplate on its lid. If you wish to open the box, turn to 296. We do indeed. Now, the box contains a small leather-bound book entitled The Making and Casting of Dragonfire. You open the pages and begin to read. Fortunately, it is written in your own language, and so is probably not understood by the orcs, otherwise its treasure would certainly not be as loosely guarded as it was. The book is written in tiny handwriting by Farigo di Maggio. In it he tells the story of his life's work, the creation of the Dragonfire spell with which to fight evil dragons. You read how, in his last years, Farigo finally perfected his spell, but by then was too old to make use of it, so he completed his book, locked it in a chest and hid it in the depths of Firetop Mountain, afraid that it might fall into the wrong hands. The last page reads, "And so, you who now hold this book, you have my life's work in your hands. The power of destruction is yours if you wish it. But do not waste it. Unless you use the spell for the purpose for which it was intended, you shall be consumed by evil itself and die by the fire from your own hands. Remember, only when the dragon breathes its fire at you should you raise your arms and say, Ekil, Erif, Ekam, Erif, 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 Di Maggio." And if you notice, if you spell it backwards, it's like fire, make fire, 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 Di Maggio. Anyway. You say these words slowly and softly. Suddenly the pages seem to glow, and as this glow disappears, so do the words on the pages of the book. You repeat the spell to yourself to memorize it and leave the room. Okay, so let's just note that we have the spell. So, Farigo di Maggio. If that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. Okay, so now we turn to 42. You eventually arrive at the end of the passage at a three-way junction. You may turn either to the west, turn to 257, or to the east, turn to 113. Okay, we are going to go west. Turn to 257. The passageway runs straight for several meters and then ends at a wooden door. You listen at the door and hear angry shouting coming from within. Will you investigate or turn back? We're going to investigate. 168. You open the door to a large room. A large chair behind a solid-looking table suggests to you that someone or something of rank uses this room. A chest in the centre catches your eye. In a corner of the room stands a man-sized creature with a warty face standing over a smaller creature of similar race. With a whip in his hand, the orc chieftain has been beating his servant, who is whimpering beneath him. Will you attack them both, spring at the chieftain in the hope that his servant will aid you, or leave the room and head back for the junction? I think if you spring at the chieftain, I think that the servant helps the chieftain, so you have to fight them both anyway. So, and you say something like "ungrateful wretch," so we have to attack them both. And I think this is this is the picture. There he is. Okay, so we're going to attack them both. Turn to 372. The battle commences. Fight them one at a time. If you defeat them both, turn to 21. Okay, so another battle. So Orc Chieftain 7-6. Let's do him first. Orc Chieftain. Skill 7. Stamina 6. Enemy attack. And my attack. Let's do this. Okay, he gets a 7, so that's 14 in total. I get a 7, so that's 19 in total. So 14 to 19. So that's down to 4. Okay, again. 4, that's 11 in total. To 11, that's 23 in total. So 11 to 23. So he's down to 2 now. One more, maybe. He gets a 7, that's 14 in total. I get an 8, which is 20, so 14 to 20. So I win that one. And then we have the servant, so let's do that. Right, what do we have? What's his thing again? 5 and 3, it shouldn't take too long. Okay, that's a 12 in total for him, and that's 9 for me, so it's 12 to 21. So it's down to 1 for him. Maybe the last one. 7 for him, that's a 12 for him. And 8 for me, that's 20, so 12 to 20. So that's finished them off without taking any damage. So that's that. Right. So now we turn to 21 after winning that battle. Very easy battle. The green blood of the dead orcs smells foul as it seeps from their bodies. You step around the corpses and investigate the chest. It is a sturdy affair made of strong oak and iron, and it is firmly locked. You may try to smash the lock with your sword or leave it alone and go through the open door. We're going to smash the lock. The lock was obviously inadequate. It flies off and lands on the floor several meters away. You lift up the heavy lid and your eyes widen as you see the gold sheen coming from within. A fair number of gold pieces are inside. In one corner lies a small black bottle with a tight glass stopper containing a liquid of some kind. Also in the chest is a silky black glove. But as you are admiring this treasure, you hear a soft click and wince in pain as a small dart shoots forward into your stomach. Roll one die and subtract this number of points from your stamina to determine the effect of the poison on the dart tip. If you're still alive, turn to 201. So roll one die. Okay, so we've got a 2, so we subtract 2. I'll put it back to 2 now. So we have to subtract 2 from our stamina. So down to 13. And turn to 201. You sink to the floor. You pull the dart out and decide to bandage the wound. This gives some relief, but you still feel weak. You decide to take it easy and examine the contents of the chest. But if you wish, you may eat some provisions here. I won't, because that would be a waste. I've only lost 2 points and they give 4 points. So I'll save them. There are 25 gold pieces, and the label on the bottle shows it to be a potion of invisibility, good for 1 dose. The glove is a mystery. You may put any or all of these into your haversack and leave the room. I'll put them all in. Okay, so what did I get? I got potion. of invisibility, black glove, and I'll put this separately under here, gold. We have 25, so that was a nice find. Okay, so now we turn to 293. You arrive back at the junction in the passage and walk straight on eastwards. Turn to 113. You arrive at another junction in the passage. You may either go northwards or continue eastwards. We're going to go northwards. You see a well-used door on the right-hand east side of the passageway. With your ear to the keyhole, you listen and hear a man screaming for help from inside. Will you open the door or walk on? We're going to open the door. The door is locked. You may try to charge it down by rolling 2 dice. If the number rolled is equal to or less than your skill score, the door bursts open. If the number is greater than your skill score, the door remains locked. You lose 1 stamina point for your bruised shoulder, and you must progress up the passage. So we need to roll 2 dice, and if it's less than or equal to 12, we can open the door, which is pretty much guaranteed, but I'll do it anyway. Yep, because we have, the maximum. Right, so we turn to 36. The locked door bursts open and a nauseating stench hits your nostrils. Inside the room, the floor is covered with bones, rotting vegetation and slime. A wild-haired old man, clothed in rags, rushes at you screaming. His beard is long and grey and he is waving an old wooden chair leg. Is he simply insane as he appears, or has this been some kind of trap? You may either shout at him to try to calm him down, or draw your sword and attack him. We are going to calm him down. I think, yeah, this is the picture of the man. There he is. So we're going to go to 263. You shout, "You are freed, old man," at the top of your voice. Instantly his rantings cease. He stops dead in his tracks and sinks to the floor, weeping loudly. As he gradually composes himself, he thanks you many times. You talk with him in the hope of discovering some of the secrets of the mountain, and he begins to tell his story. Many years ago he was an adventurer like you in search of the Warlock's treasure. He was captured by the orcs and thrown into his solitary cell as a sort of pet for the creatures. You ask whether he would like to accompany you into the mountain, but he simply wants to leave and see the world again. You ask him for advice, but he says he knows little. He advises you to pay respects to the boatman. He tells you that you must pull the right-hand lever on the wall ahead to open the iron gate at the end of the passage. He has also learned that the keys to the boathouse are guarded by a man and his dog. You shake hands, leave the room and go your separate ways. Add 1 luck. Do I need any more luck? No, I'm at maximum now. I will write down though, just in case I forget, the right hand lever. So now we head on over to we head on over to 314. Further up the passage you see a door in the east wall. You listen hard but can hear no sound. Do you want to open the door to investigate? If so, turn to 223. If you want to walk further up the passage, turn to 300. We are going to open the door. So 223. Now the door is firmly locked. You may try to force it open, or you may continue along the corridor. We're going to force it open. You charge the door, hitting it squarely with your shoulder. Roll 2 dice. The number rolled is equal to or less than your skill score. The door opens. If the number exceeds your skill score, the door shudders but does not budge, and you wince in pain as you hit the door. Lose 1 stamina point. So again, we have to do this. Yeah, it's always going to be less because we have maximum. So the door opens. That was at 2 dice, yeah. Door opens, so we go to 155. The door splits along its length, and you can wrench the timbers apart to let yourself in. A torch hangs from one wall up a small armoury room stocked with swords, shields, helmets, daggers, breastplates and the like. You examine the weaponry and find nothing appearing superior to your own sword. However, a circular iron shield with a golden crescent at its centre catches your eye. You pick it up and feel its weight on your arm. If you wish to take the shield, it will aid you in battles by helping to fend off wound damage inflicted by a creature on you. If, in future, during a battle in which you are using the shield, a creature wounds you, you may throw 1 die. If you throw a 6, the creature inflicts only 1 point of damage instead of normal 2. If for some reason the creature would normally only inflict 1 point of damage, then a successful roll of 6 would mean that no damage is done. However, the shield is heavy and you will have to leave behind 1 item of equipment. Adjust your equipment list to be able to carry it. Well, since I have a shield anyway, I can just get rid of that and just replace it with Moon Shield. So, you know, that's all I have to do, just replace my shield that I have with that one. And now we can roll a 6, so I'll just write that in there. So roll 6, 1 point of damage. I'll just put actually I'll just put -1. There we go. You now leave the room and continue up the corridor, and that was the room with the shield in it. So 300 we're going to now. On the east wall of the passage you see another door, this time made of solid metal. Listening at the door you hear the sound of tortured screams coming from within. If you wish to try opening the door, turn to 102. If you decide to ignore this room and continue up the corridor, turn to 303. We're going to continue up the corridor, so 303. You arrive at the end of the passage where it meets another going east-west, but an iron portcullis blocks your way and no amount of charging is going to budge it. On the wall to your right are 2 levers, and it seems likely that these levers have something to do with raising the portcullis. Do you wish to pull the right lever or the left lever? Remember, the man said the right lever. If I remember, the left lever turns out to be a sword blade covered in wax, and you hurt yourself on it. So we want the right lever, and that's where it is. So we're going to be doing the right, so 128. You hear a deep rumbling noise and the ground begins to shudder. Slowly and noisily the portcullis rises into the ceiling. You may now walk to the junction. Will you turn west or east? We're going to turn east. So to 58. Okay, cautiously you creep along the passageway. After a short time it turns sharply to the north. At the corner there is a bench of solid wood, and above the bench a sign reads, "Rest ye here, weary traveller." Here you may stop and eat provisions if you wish. Turn to 15. We will, even though we don't need the provisions, we're going to do it anyway. So to 15 we go at the bench. As you sit on the bench and eat your food, you begin to feel deeply relaxed and the aches from your body seem to be soothing themselves away. This resting place is enchanted. You may restore 2 additional stamina points as well as the normal amount, but only if this does not exceed your initial stamina score. and restore 1 skill point if any have been lost. No, none have been lost, so that place is pretty much useless, but I'll have to put it back up to 15 now. So back up to 15, and we only have 9 provisions now. There we go. When you're ready to continue, move along the passage and turn to 367. You arrive at another junction in the passageway. If you'd like to turn westwards, turn to 235. If you wish to go east, turn to 323. We are going to go east. So 323. After a few meters, you reach another 3-way junction. You may go either northwards or eastwards. We are going to go eastwards again, so 255. The passageway ends in a sturdy wooden door. If you want to try opening it, turn to 193. If you want to go back to the junction and try another route, turn to 93. So we're going to open the door, 193. The door opens and you enter a small room. Your eyes widen as you look around to see that the walls of the room are covered in ornate stonework. Mosaics and marble inlays give this room a kind of beauty you have never seen before. In a corner of the room is a large metal statue of a one-eyed creature. In its single eye is a sparkling jewel. As there appear to be no other ways through the room, you will have to go back to the junction, but that large jewel is very tempting. Will you leave it alone and go back to the junction, or try to take the jewel with you? We're going to take the jewel, of course. 338. You approach the statue cautiously. A scampering behind you makes you flash round, but it is only a rat. You feel at the jewel, but it is solidly in place. You try to work your sword in behind it, and as you work, you hear an ominous creaking noise. To your horror, the statue is beginning to move. You jump down and draw your sword. The iron Cyclops cranes its head round towards you and steps down from its pedestal. You must fight. Okay, so skill 10, stamina 10, and we can escape if we want to. So, iron Cyclops. I think there was a picture that I missed. If I go past it, I'll show you the picture of it. Skill 10, stamina 10. Enemy attack. My attack. Let's do this. So it gets a 7, so that's 17 in total. 17 to my 17, so that's none, so let's write that down. So 17 to 17, so neither of us do any damage. Okay, it gets a 5, that's a 15, and I get a 4, that's a 16, so it's 15 to 16, so I win just. So it goes down to 8. Okay, it gets a 5, that's a 15, and I get a 4, that's a 16 again, so again 15 to 16. So it's down to 6 now, looks like I'm winning. Okay, roll again. It gets a 19, and I also get 19, so again no damage done. Okay, it gets a 14, and I get a 19, so 14 to 19, I win. So that's down to 4. Again, 15 to 18, so I win again. So it doesn't matter having really low stamina, as long as the skill is good, and you won't lose any of the stamina. Alright, so just one more attack round to win, hopefully. It's 18 for the creature, and just 19 for me, so I win. Just 18, 19. So I win, it's down to 0, and let's see what it gives us. Turn to 75 if we win. That was definitely one of the hardest, the hardest creature we've encountered so far. You sit back and rest from the exhausting battle. You may eat provisions here. Don't need to. You prize the jewel from the still statue. It is heavy in your hand and is worth 50 gold pieces. You put it in your pack. So we get the jewel. So we get the green jewel, or whatever it's called, whatever. What else do we get? As you explore the room and the statue, you notice that one of its breastplate sections is loose. When you open this, a small key is inside. You examine this and notice the number 111 on it. With a smile, you put the jewel and the key in your pack and set off back to the junction. Turn to 93 after adding 3 luck points. You have a valuable artifact here. Okay, so we have another key. So we have... what sort of key is this? What did it say it was? Just a small key, so... small key 111. And do we need any luck? No, it's at maximum, so we don't need any anyway. Okay, let's continue to 93. You arrive back at the junction, and this time you turn northwards. Turn to 8. The passage ahead ends at a sturdy door. You listen but hear nothing. You try the handle, it turns, and you enter the room. As you look around, you hear a loud cry from behind you, and swing round to see a wild man leaping towards you, wielding a large battle axe. He is a mad barbarian, and you must fight him. Okay, skill 7 and stamina 6. Okay, barbarian. Skill 7 and stamina 6. Okay, I should win this easily. Okay, he gets a 7, so that's 14. I get a 5, which is 17. So 14 to 17. So I win. So 4. 8, that's 15 in total. And 4, that's 16. So 15 to 16, I win again. Okay, last one hopefully. He gets an 11, that's 18 in total. And I get a 5, which is 17 in total, so he just beats me. However, if I roll a 6, he only does 1 point of damage. So I'll do that. So if I roll it, because of the shield that I got, so let's do that. Oh, I do! Brilliant! Complete luck. Okay, so it only does 1 point of damage. So I'll put my stamina down to 14. And then I will continue with the fight. So do that. Okay, so he still needs 1 more point. Okay, he gets a 6. That's a 13 in total. And I get a 5, which is 17. So 13 to 17 means I win. So that's the end of that chapter. Right. Defeat him, yes I did, so 273. A search of the room reveals nothing of any value, although an old box in the corner contains a wooden mallet and 5 short stumps of wood, sharpened at one end. You may take these if you wish. I will. What were they? Wooden stumps. Short stumps of wood. So, wooden mallet. Plus 5 sharpened stumps. So that's that. And this is the end of this part. In the next part I'll be going to 189 and continuing the adventure. Thanks for watching and bye bye.